Imagine no longer having to go to a gas station and sit at the pump, filling up your gas, or never owning a car again. Instead, you would simply plug in your car when you get home and unplug when you leave for work in the morning. This would simplify our lives and utilize natural resources to decrease our carbon footprint on the earth. I constantly hear in the news, we are approaching $3 gas. This made me wonder, what happens if we get $4 or maybe $5? I have researched several academic articles and found some alternative options for those of you who will refuse to pay those overpriced gas prices. Based on the survey you took from me, the majority of you said you would not enjoy paying $3 for a gallon of gas. With a basic 20-gallon tank, this would require you to fork over roughly $60 a fill. I, for one, could never bring myself to do that. And I would probably look for an alternative such as buying a bike. Oil reserves will eventually run dry. We need to be prepared for when it does. Companies have started to take steps in the right direction, utilizing electric cars and creating new forms of transportation. Now let's face the facts. Peter Cattell says in his article, Oil Jitters, American drivers were paying more than $3 a gallon and crude oil hit a milestone, $100 a barrel. Some oil experts warn of even bigger price shocks to come as oil-producing nations use more and more of their own oil. Mainly due to their increasing populations, they're keeping more for themselves to be more sufficient, and that will cause energy to jump 50% by 2030. In Jennifer Weeks' article, U.S. Oil Dependence, she lists some key data points. Oil currently accounts for 37% of United States energy use, which is more than any other fuel source, and 94% of transportation fuel. Making a change to electric cars could potentially cut that percentage in half in the next 10 years. Between the years 2005 and 2012, oil imports have decreased 15%, mainly due to the fact that North Dakota struck oil and we became more self-sufficient. Now that we have seen the problems, let's get to the solutions. The United States Department of Energy's Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy says, hybrid and plug-in electric vehicles can help increase energy security, improve fuel economy, lower fuel prices, and reduce emissions. The recent model hybrid, which is the Chevy Bolt, averages 48 miles per gallon, and the gasoline, most efficient, is 30 miles per gallon. Here is a chart that shows the price over the past 20 years. You can see gas has gone up to almost $4, and energy has just hovered around $1. The data center at the Department of Energy lists incentives for every state. Here are some specifically for Minnesota. If you buy an electric car right now, you could get a bonus check of $2,500 to almost $7,500, depending on the size of the vehicle and the size of the battery. Also, if you are a member of Xcel Energy Dakota Electric Association or Connexus Energy, you could get a reduced rate for charging your car. Here's a video that shows in New Zealand they have implemented electric vehicles into their common life, and they say it works very well.
Well, electric vehicles have come a long way in a really short period of time. They're fast, they're grunty, you can go long distances, take decent trips, and just how amazing the technology is and how great it is for the planet.
Electric power in New Zealand is almost all renewable, so New Zealand is the perfect place to have electric vehicles.
The technology is out there to allow all types of motoring, and with EV being as prominent as it is now, you'll see more and more vehicles out there.
Honestly, it's 2016, and I wanted something futuristic and just so smooth. The power is instant. Yeah, it's awesome. Saving the planet can actually be really fun.
The Tesla is the first truly high-performance electric car. it accelerates like a rocket ship. And the thing is, it's totally changed people's perceptions of electric cars.
Well, I mean, it just makes sense in Wellington to be rolling out electric vehicle charging infrastructure. We've got a really compact city. We've got the lowest greenhouse emissions per capita in Australasia, so it makes sense that Wellington is leading the way.
Our family has had a car just like this and Leaf for about a year. Cars cost a little more up front, but then I've looked over the sort of 4 to 5 years, and from our point of view, we're better off.
On our previous petrol car, we were spending about $4,000 a year, and now we're down to about $300 or $400 a year in electricity. Yeah, so significant cost savings.
It just makes perfect sense for me. I do about 30,000 kilometres a year, and I haven't got to take it into the garage every 3 months to get it serviced, and I can start it up in the morning without waking everyone up.
As corporates, we need to look at giving something back. So I think it's quite important that we set an example. I'm falling in love, but I'd like to take it home tonight.
So from a climate change perspective and arresting the worst impacts of climate change, electric vehicles just make sense.
Now moving on to a more larger scale. Investment in the Hyperloop route Speed Up by Jorn Madsling states the Hyperloop is another alternative energy source that will counter gas-powered cars. This will benefit larger populated cities because it can carry a large amount of people, and also it doesn't require any gas. The Hyperloop transport idea is gaining momentum amid the growing evidence that it is environmentally stable due to the super fast travel that it has. Right now, the proposed cost per ticket will be around $20, and if you're traveling that amount of distance, compare that to an airplane ticket, you're paying probably 5% of what you would. And the plan is to run the pods with natural energy sources like solar power. Utilizing the Earth's natural resources provides help which will stray away from carbon dioxide emissions. Since fossil fuel reserves will be short in a few decades, companies will start to prepare for the worst now to be ready to solidify these new concepts to ensure a clean future. In the next 5 to 10 years, we will all be graduating college and starting work. We will need something to get us from point A to point B. It is up to you guys to save the globe, so to speak, and purchase an electric vehicle or use the Hyperloop. Thank you.